Let's do this.
Dad?
Max!
You're the prosecutor in this case?
Yes, I am, Max.
You want to put me in jail, but you're my dad.
Yeah, well, which reminds me, your mom sends her regards. She said if you don't end up in prison after all this, you're welcome over for dinner on Sunday.
What?
She's thinking roast beef. You like roast beef, don't you?
Yeah, Dad, but you want to put me in jail?
Oh, it's nothing personal, really. I just felt that it would be nice with a little challenge for once. I find that most of my cases these days are just too easy to be interesting, really.
So you're saying that you're doing this because you're bored?
Look, son, there's a time in every man's life where they have to confront their father.
Yeah, but I'm not confronting you. You're confronting me.
I know how much you look up to me, but it's not healthy for you to live in my shadow all of your life.
I'm not living in your shadow, Dad. I don't know if you've noticed, but I have my own career, and it's going pretty good.
Yeah, about that. Your mom and I both feel that it would be a lot better if you would start thinking, about following in my footsteps instead.
So that one day I can also put my children in jail?
Are you upset? I'm sensing a bit of hostility.
Upset? You're trying to put me in jail, and you're wondering if I'm upset.
But I told you it's nothing personal.
Well, I hope you don't feel it's personal when I make a complete fool out of you in court today.
Quite frankly, son, you don't have the skills to take me down.
Quite frankly, not only do I have the skills, I also have the determination. Because if I win, Dad, I get to go on a date with Susan Mabel.
Fine. But just remember, son, it's not about doing your best. It's about winning.
Yeah, I'll be sure to remind you of that after I win.
Max McMahon Sr. His special ability, I remember the tutorial said, he really hates losing and he has so much experience at his disposal that he will replace all missing characters on the board every turn. With the exception of himself, of course. And he has a whopping 60 credibility. Because of course he does. Well, we've got our work cut out for us. Let's get started. Great posture, first and foremost, to always collect those benefits. Bonus doesn't matter here. You notice there wasn't a bonus at all. We've collected all 57 case bonuses. This is the final match. Doesn't matter how much money we get. We get our freedom and a date with Susan Mabel. Let's go ahead and finish off this witness. Using some reverse psychology on himself. And I'm going to see if I can take care of that evidence over there. Which I did. Now you're all like, well, he's just going to replace those next turn. Yes, but those were high damaging enemies. I wanted to remove those from the field. It's kind of a big deal, And now, let's see, that's not a whole lot to worry about, that 1 to 2 damage. It's not a big deal. Instead, we're going to intimidate good old Dad.
The old intimidate trick.
Yup, Dad knows it. And finally, gonna go in deep voice. Now, he's going to fill the board with 2 new enemies. Only one of which is a genuine threat. Is that evidence there? That's not a big deal either. I had some trouble whenever I did this. First few times through, I ended up getting into a dead. He pulled out some really big guns, and I would kill them, and he'd pull out even bigger damaging guns. But if you keep the board littered with people who aren't really useful, like say this witness protection person, and this 1 to 2 damage witness, and then that 1 damage evidence, you're fine. And then you can just focus on Max McMahon Sr. Now, that 7 damage witness has got to go. Got to go. We'll take care of it.
Oh, yes.
And I could object to paralyze him, and I might end up doing that in the future. As a matter of fact, we'll even do that now. Get wrecked, Dad.
Better luck next time.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and trade some case strength away so that I have even more points to use. We're looking at 10 damage here versus 9 damage there versus 8 damage there versus 5 damage there. go ahead and cross-examine him.
Nice one. How long do you think you'll last?
Oh, I think I'll last quite a bit.
That's right. That wasn't so hard.
All full of piss and vinegar. I should have used it as
Are you
credit.
trying to prove something?
And see that right there. Okay, so that
You're not
witness
very good at this, right?
is even more protected. And that matters to me. Why? It doesn't. Got very favorable rolls. So what I'm just going to do is use
You'll
discredit.
never break me. That's quite enough of that, Max. I said that's enough.
Uh-oh.
Okay, stop that right now.
Yeah. So in the end, Roger, of all people, gave me the most
very
trouble in this playthrough. At least in that one case. Let's have a crushing patronize.
I'm not going to budge. Whoa, no!
Yeah. Later that evening. So, my first time playing through, I picked what actually happened. I thought they had some dialogue before that. Maybe it's because I disabled the tutorial. I don't remember. I do think they did have some dialogue before, and it must have just been removed the tutorial thing. Whatever. The game must realize that I'm trying to see another ending. And I don't want to show what actually happened. This is what actually happened. The truth and nothing but the truth. It's romantic, it's soft, it's heartwarming, it's everything you could ever hope for. It was really gag-worthy. Then we have what could have happened. This ending is what could have happened, but to be completely honest, it's very unlikely. It's nice and quite cheerful, but lacks a bit in plausibility. And then what didn't happen, this ending is terrible. No kidding, it's really terrible, but if you want to see it anyway, select this option. Well, we'll leave that ending for you folks who want to play by yourselves at home. We'll just choose what could have happened.
You did it, Max. You really came through. So what are you going to do now?
Well, Susan, I think it's time for a change, actually.
What do you mean?
Well, I feel that I'm done with being an attorney.
Are you giving up your career?
Oh, I don't see it so much as giving up my career as starting a new one.
Okay, so what are you going to do instead?
Susan, I'm gonna become a pro wrestler.
A pro wrestler?
Yeah, that's what I've always wanted.
Okay, I understand. Do you think it will make you happy?
I know it will make me happy.
Then I think you should do it.
You're absolutely right, Susan. You know, I have a very good feeling about this.
So do I, Max. So do I.
I did not foresee that! Awesome! But very unlikely. That is Devil's Attorney.
He's the hero of the courtroom,
Shut up.
bringing justice to them all. The master of trials always heeds his call. He's a defender of his clients. He puts it all on the line. A knight in shining armor, and it all turned out fine. So fine, so fine. He's the champion of justice, the defender of crime. He's the champion of justice, and it's always on time. He's the perfect secret weapon. Got 3 apartments and a car. He may have been lost, but found love after all. He's a protector of the weakest, the ones who think they are done. Fighting with valor and skills are matched by none. By none. He's the champion of justice, the defender of crime. He's the champion of justice, and is always on time. He's the champion justice, the defender of crime. He's the champion of justice, and he's always on time. He's always on time. He's always on time. He is the champion of justice, the defender of crime. He is the champion of justice, and he's always on time. He is the champion of justice, the defender of crime. He's the champion of justice, and he's always on
The graphics in this game are great. The music is great. The dialogue and interaction between the characters, great. The turn-based strategy mechanics, they're interesting. Not very challenging. This was on hard difficulty. I had done a prior playthrough, but obviously did not take me too long to get through the entire game. I did it in one sitting. Man, this is one of the better games I've played this entire year. A wonderful delight. And to think it all started whenever Humble Bundle offered it for free, just to see, it was just a Humble mobile bundle right there, and I picked it up. And don't regret a single second of the time. Highly worth supporting the folks responsible behind this game. I'll be taking a look into what else they've done. I might even buy a copy of Devil's Attorney, even though I already have one at no charge. Man, this was so fun. It really was. I knew after I finished that first playthrough that I wanted to go through it again. And record it along the way, because I can't imagine that many of my viewers just coming into this game and seeing it for themselves. I'm really pleased that I got the opportunity to share this. No, I'm serious. I honestly think this is one of the better series I've ever done. I had so much fun with this game. Oh, man. Well, we'll see you in future Let's Get On With It adventures, folks. Unless you die, or I die, in which case, pleasure having you around. Take care. Good night.